Hello, my name is Rick and I'm in my pajamas. So I've been holding on to this moisturizer. It came like a few days ago, but I really wanted to wait until I was able to film my very first impressions. So this is what this clip is gonna be, and it's why I'm still in my casual wear because I'm essentially doing this as part of my morning skincare routine. This is a follow-up video to the first video I posted of a campaign analysis for the Krave Beauty Oat So Simple Water Cream, and it blew up more than I thought it would for, being at this for like 3 months. Most of my videos getting like 50 views. Like I think now it's got like 1,200, which is crazy to me. Like I'd be at work getting notifications from people who have been like engaging and stuff like that. And I just want to thank every new subscriber, everybody who commented, anybody who watched it. I just want to say thank you, and all the comments have been like so respectful. Posting a video in which you give your opinion inherently invites others to talk about theirs, whether they agree with you, disagree with you, and I welcome that. I welcome that a lot. And everybody who did disagree, majority or mostly agreed with me and had problems with some things that I said, express that in a very respectful way, and that's all I can ask for. That's how it should be done. So just thank you for everything that has transpired the past week. Okay, so now to the first impressions. I ordered this the morning of launch at like 6 a.m. and it came in like the next day. One thing that's really great about Krave Beauty is their shipping and tracking service is like amazing. So I've actually, like I said, been holding on to this for like 2 or 3 days, really trying to get into it. I did, however. I opened it, I looked at this, and I just pulled up this little protective. I just looked at it, and that's all I've done, I promise. But now I guess I can finally get into it. I have like this mirror here. I had it, this was actually a gift. The company didn't send this to me, but it was a gift from somebody else. It's like, what is it? Vanity Girl Hollywood? Just a cool portable mirror. It has a light on it, but it's not charged, so I can't take advantage of that. But I'm gonna give you a little insight into like what I do for my morning routine and my night routine actually. But what I'll do is get all my electronics out of the way, because I usually do this in my bathroom where those aren't sitting. But I'll get a spray bottle. This is literally just tap water, and I got this bottle from Daiso for like $1. But what I do is I'll just spray a little bit, and then I have a humectant essence serum. This is a hyaluronic acid serum, and I'll just kind of rub that all over, kind of go against the grain of my beard to make sure that the skin under there is covered. And depending on how dry I am and how much hydration I need, I might do this step 2 or 3 times. All right. And I do this with all of my moisturizers, so it's actually kind of a baseline. If I did this without doing this step first, it would actually probably alter my interpretation of how this performs. Am I the only one who doesn't use these? I feel like from every video I've seen, everybody like takes the time to do it, but like I just don't have the patience for that. But at a glance, for having 9 ingredients, this actually looks pretty substantial. And it looks rich actually when I'm touching it now. Let's see, I'm using about that much, and we'll see what the spread is like. It's kind of cooling, which I didn't expect, but there's no scent to it, which is great. And I always get my nap. So what I do with my moisturizers is I usually put on like a layer like this that I kind of disperse evenly. And then to really take advantage of the occlusivity of a moisturizer, I'll go through in with like 1 more layer, and I'll barely thin it out, and I'll just lay it on top. Because I feel like when you just rub it on and you disperse it too much, it thins out too much, and I don't really feel like I'm getting the benefit of the occlusive properties or the oils or whatever. So I'll just literally lay it on like this. So then leave it alone. I'm trying to think of if this is like how this differs from any other moisturizer I've used. For a water cream texture, it actually does feel pretty occlusive because I've used other moisturizers where it's like a water cream texture and it feels like it thins out to nothing, and I don't like that, but so far this feels pretty substantial. Ooh. And here I am touching it, thinking out. I guess throughout the video, because I'm also filming the review within this video as well, I'm just gonna later go about how it performs. It's probably gonna take me like an hour to film, so I'll update you guys as we go through the video. Okay, so I'm back. Put my eyebrows on, changed my shirt, that's pretty much it. But for this portion of the video, I'm gonna do a more in-depth review. I'm gonna go through the star ingredients, the texture, and I'm gonna do an up-close demo of the texture, like on my hands, so you can see the finish and stuff like that. So if you'd like to see that, I'd invite you to keep on watching. Okay, so first I'm gonna go through the star ingredients, and one of the main actives, I guess you can call active in this formula, is squalane. And squalene is actually like a fatty molecule that we produce on our own, but much like every other beneficial skin molecule, it degrades as we go through our 20s, so applying it topically actually does have some replenishment qualities. So squalene, which is the one that we naturally produce, is actually fairly volatile and it oxidizes really quickly, which essentially means that it spoils really quickly. So in order to stabilize it, what often happens is it will be hydrogenated. Hydrogenated just basically means that hydrogen atoms are added to it to stabilize the squalene molecules, and after the hydrogenation process, it becomes squalane. And the way hydrogenation and the process of conversion from squalene to squalane stabilizes the oil is that it reduces the amount of double and triple bonds by adding hydrogen atoms, and that basically reduces the reactivity of the molecule. Less reactivity means more stable, and molecules that are more stable usually mean they're less likely to spoil. So hydrogenation is actually to our benefit, and squalane maintains a lot of the same properties in that it basically mimics what we already create. It's non-comedogenic, and it actually has some antioxidant properties. It used to be derived from the liver of sharks, but we've since been able to source it more sustainably and eco-friendly, and that is done through the fermentation of sugarcane, and it can also be derived from olives. You'll see it in a lot more products as it becomes kind of more of an available ingredient. You already see it in a lot of moisturizers that have come out recently, and one of the benefits of it is even though it's an oil, a lot of people who have fungal acne like to avoid oils because it actually feeds the fungi, but squalane actually does not feed it. So it's fungal acne safe, and it's kind of been one of the main selling points of this moisturizer. And then the second, and obviously kind of part of the branding for this product, is going to be the oatmeal extract. And oatmeal is beneficial in a bunch of ways. It's kind of all-encompassing as a skincare ingredient. It has molecules within it that act as humectants, emollients, it's anti-inflammatory, and it actually has some antioxidants as well. So a little bit of background on what a humectant is. A humectant is a molecule that is polar enough to attract water, but is stable enough to not evaporate. So polarity allows the water to be binded to the molecule, and then the stability of the molecule allows it to be retained and held within the skin. And oatmeal has polysaccharides, which are sugar molecules. Sugar molecules have enough polarity to attract water, and they're really big molecules, and usually the bigger the molecule, the more stable it is. So they function as really good humectants. And for emollients, it has these molecules called hydrocolloids, which when mixed with water, they form kind of like a gel-like texture, and that acts as kind of like a sealant that seals in the water that is pulled by the humectants. It also has molecules called avenanthramides and beta-glucan, and those act as anti-inflammatory agents. And then for antioxidants, it has some polyphenols and ferulic acid, and those are going to help scavenge free radicals that you get from UV rays from the sun. As far as the texture goes, you know, it's called a water cream, but the way it applies and the way it feels, it actually feels kind of rich, which is, I guess, the squalane's really putting in some work. This is actually kind of versatile. Like if you want it to thin out and be more of like a watery texture, you could just use a little bit and spread it out. So it's good for those with oily skin. But for people like me who are dry, like I put a lot on, and like I said, that squalane is putting in a lot of work. So it is buildable in terms of the occlusivity, which is awesome. And then obviously for people with combination, you can kind of find your middle ground in between how much you want to apply. So in that way, it is consistent with what they said, in that this moisturizer is going to be catered to a lot of people. I'm trying to think of a moisturizer to compare it to that's been the Neutrogena Hydra Boost. It's actually kind of similar to that, in that the more you work it, the thinner it kind of gets, but then you can keep applying more if you want that increased hydration and inclusivity. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like, is it worth $28? Because even though I had like a lot of support on my last video where I kind of criticized the campaign, there was a few people that provided some good points about maybe the manufacturing process being accommodated for the price. You know, they do give you 2.7 ounces instead of the usual 1.7, so you're almost getting double the amount you would get with like a typical moisturizer. But I can still recommend a lot of like drugstore, like sensitive skin moisturizers, like pretty much any Cerave moisturizer. Aveeno, the Cosrx moisturizers, they give you, I believe, 3.38 ounces for like $22, and they're usually made without any like inflammatory ingredients. So just comparing it to the market, I don't think it really provides that much of a novel experience to really support that $28 price tag. And actually, from a lot of people that commented on my last video, a few people were saying that, like, you know, a big selling point to them is the fact that it is so simple, because, you know, they've used more expensive moisturizers that give you less, that actually break you out. And what I have to say about that is a lot of like those luxury expensive moisturizers are formulated with things like fragrance or a lot of plant extracts, or just honestly ingredients that don't really play well together, and that's why it warrants such a big response from your skin. And I also got to thinking, like, in response to the people who said that like it does provide them peace of mind that they can use this moisturizer without having a reaction, because their skin is really responsive to certain ingredients. And I just thought, like, you know, in the way they tried to make it usable for a wider array of people, the only like demographic, I guess you could say, that it appeals to is those with like really sensitive skin who can't use a lot of product. So I feel like it actually kind of had the opposite effect, in that in trying to appeal to a wider range of people, it actually kind of holds value for those people with really sensitive skin, which is not everybody. And in response to like some of the criticism I got in response to that video, I kept saying that, you know, I was like open to this after trying it. I was fully, totally open to this moisturizer changing my mind, provided the experience was really unique. But it kind of just feels like a normal moisturizer. There's nothing special about it. To me personally, $28 still isn't. Maybe like $20, I'd say. 20 to 25. I'd say would have been a better price for this. And I also kept mentioning that, you know, value is subjective. What other people value isn't going to be the same as what somebody else values, because we all have different needs and we see different things as assets than would somebody else. So I'm not trying to make somebody who sees this and wants it like feel like they're being cheated or anything, because this might be valuable to you. Just because it's not for me doesn't mean like you shouldn't go and get it and try it. But for like an individual who is like me, who has dry skin, who likes to have a few actives, like say like a niacinamide, or who needs more humectants like glycerin or hyaluronic acid, I'm gonna say probably skip this and get like a Cerave moisturizer, or even what's that brand? The Rouche Posay, the Toleriane moisturizer. That's also a good one that gives you more for less money. The Cosrx ones are, I keep saying Cosrx because it's cosmetic RX. Cosrx gives you, I've been using their hyaluronic acid cream. They give you 3.38 ounces. I don't think I'm even halfway through, and I've had it since I posted the Cosrx video review. And it's like, I feel like I'm not gonna run out of it for like ever. Yeah, just in terms of value, I feel like there's others out there that you can get more for your money, more per ounce, less money per ounce of product. So all in all, I wouldn't recommend it if you have a similar skin type to me. I'd recommend it for those who do have really sensitive skin, who have really reactive skin, who have tried a lot of other moisturizers that aren't working for them. I'd say this is probably the product for you. But for someone like me who can tolerate a wide range of ingredients and active ingredients like exfoliating acids, retinol, stuff like that, I'd say you'd probably want to skip this because it might feel a little boring to you. And yeah, that's probably going to be it for this video. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. If you liked this video and you'd like to see more like it, I'd recommend you subscribe below and follow me on my Instagram at rickskin_, where I post texture shots and channel updates, and I post little mini reviews. I'd like to welcome all my new subscribers, and I'd like to thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.